What's up, guys? My name is Cody. Welcome back to HRT. Today, we have a special guest. His name is Tyler. Say hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
Tyler is all the way in Florida, so we're doing it remotely today. Something new, something fun. I wanted Tyler to be on today because Tyler is a fellow trans man, and I'm trans, so it works.
Wait. You're trans?
No. Just a cis man talking to other trans guys.
Just cis men speaking on things they shouldn't be speaking about.
Honestly, that's the only thing that separates this podcast from other podcasts. It's the only reason I'm getting away with this is because I'm not cis. I mean, people on TikTok who see the clips are like, oh, just another guy who has another podcast. And then there's people in the comments being like, no, this one's different. This one's different. They're not cis. And I'm like, oh, thank you for sticking up for me. I need that. But I have a couple questions that I want to start off asking you, Tyler.
Okay.
How long have you been on testosterone?
Honestly, if I can remember correctly, I think it's 6 years now.
Me too.
Twins.
Twins. No, I think I've been on T for 6 years. When did you come out as trans? Were you in high school?
I actually came out in middle school. Yes.
Really?
I cut my hair real short, and I was just like, I think I'm just going to go by, I think I want you to call me boy. I want to be a boy. I didn't know what it was at all.
Wow.
But I was just like, she, her pronouns don't feel right. So, I cut my hair real short, and I always wore boy clothes because I was a big tomboy. So it just kind of transferred over. And then I think high school is when I actually told people, I was like, yeah, trans.
Yeah, trans. This guy.
Trans. 110% trans.
No, I love that. That's great. Middle school, though, wow. See, yeah. I didn't even have the thought until I was a junior in high school. That's wild. And then, so you came out in middle school, and you were going, did you actually tell people, call me, refer to me as a man in middle school, or did that become more of a thing when you were in high school?
I didn't necessarily tell anyone because I was scared. I was just like, what the fuck is this? But more in high school where I was really yeah, I think this is correct. So then I started telling, I told close friends, and then my close friends started telling other people, and then everybody came out for me. So
that's what I did, bro. We're the same. I love that. Tyler is in Florida, right? You live in Florida?
Unfortunately, yeah.
How has that been? How are you doing?
It's been difficult. Luckily, the clinic that I do go to has been trying to keep it as normal as possible, but you still have to follow the law. So they're just oh, sorry, but here you have to do this. So
sorry, but it is what it is.
L.
Biggest L, yeah. So you came out to yourself in middle school.
Yeah, that's when I was starting to research stuff. I was like, so
something's a little funky up in here.
Something's a little funky.
Okay, so then you came out in high school then to friends, and then you said you let them come out for you.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's cool. And then I'm guessing shortly after you came out to family, your mom and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, and that was all good there?
Yeah, mom was super cool about it. I was scared to tell my dad, but you know how dads are. He was just like, okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. Pretty much it.
My dad, we don't have to talk about that one. That's okay. My dad, I mean, he came around, so it's fine. He came around. We love Dad, but So as of right now, does like everyone in your life know that you're trans, or do you still? Because a lot of a lot of cis men, a lot of trans guys out there, I feel like don't tell a lot of people.
I mean, I keep it on like a need to know basis.
Yeah.
So like people that I'm meeting for the first time, I think I passed pretty well. So there's no real need to tell them that I'm trans, actually, if you didn't know. But like close, like my roommates that I live with now, they've known me since like before I started transitioning and stuff like that. So they've seen the whole process. So I think they know. I'm not sure actually. So
I think so. I think they know. I'm not sure.
I think they get it. I never actually told them, but there's been signs.
How long have you been living with them?
I've been living with one for I think over a year now, and then we just had one of my friends from high school move in too, and I think he's been moved in since December, and I'm really bad at time, so I'm gonna call that a year too.
Literally, I relate to that. So, sorry, I'm just getting over being sick. It's a real problem. Yeah, so when I don't go telling people that I am trans when I meet them because I passed really well. But now that I have a podcast, it's no longer really possible for me to be stealth anymore. It's kind of just like everybody knows.
Yeah.
Which, you win some, you lose some.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Now, how you said you've been 6 years on testosterone. So have I, which is really cool.
Twins.
That means, how old are you?
23.
23, I'm 24. That makes sense. So if I started testosterone when I was 18, do you know how old you were when you started?
I believe I was 19.
19. The math is checking out.
The math is do be mathin'. It do be mathin'.
That checks out. Yeah, so now you got top surgery?
I did, yes.
Nice. Where did you go?
I went to Dr. Betis at Orlando Health.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it was good. It was a great experience.
Tell me about it.
Well, I don't really know how to go about talking about it. She's like, he cut them off. They're gone.
That's it. He just cut them off, and then I walked out. Stayed awake for the whole thing.
Stayed awake for the whole thing. No, I think the only thing I do remember before was like telling my mom, like, I got to say something funny before like the anesthesia really kicks in. And like the last thing I remember was like looking at those like the big old lights up above, and I think I almost said, "Do you guys need anything while I'm out?" But I don't think I actually said it. I think it was more like, and then slumber. That is the best sleep I've ever gotten in my life, though.
Yeah. I slept like so well. It was ridiculous. Dude, I woke up from my surgery and stupid. I remember waking up and they were like, okay, Cody, like, I was still on the table and they were like, we're going to help you put on your pants and, get you all wrapped up. And I remember waking up, but I remember looking down and seeing my chest, but I didn't. It was all in my head. I didn't actually see my chest because I'm pretty sure I was already wrapped up by the time I was looking. And I was like, wow, it looks so good. And they were like, you can't see it, but okay. And then they were like, we're going to put your pants on for you. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I wore these pants today because they're my favorite pants. For the special occasion, I wore them. And they were like, great.
Good story, bro. No, that's kind of weird that they were like, oh, you're still on the table. We're going to make you get dressed right now. We need this table immediately.
I was like, can we chill for a second? Like,
I think, okay, so I remember waking up. I woke up and I was like, I asked for two things. I said, where's my mom? And I have to go pee like right now. I need to piss. And I would not, they gave me a juice box. And I was like, no, I'm making piss right now. I need to go to the bathroom.
It's brewing, bro. It's gotta come out.
It's brewing.
That's
no,
mad funny.
And it's just like, did they? I remember when I first got there too. They were like, "You need to take all your clothes off." I was like, "Even my underwear?" And they were like, "Yeah, even your underwear." And I was like, "No, I googled. It's as long as they're 100% cotton, I can leave them on." And she was like, "I'm not gonna stop you." So I got to keep my underwear on. Did they make you get full naked?
No, I think I kept my underwear on. Actually,
honestly, I was so close. I thought about it. Like, obviously, I would never do it, but like, if you make me take my underwear off, I'm leaving right now. I'm not doing it. I will not get top surgery today if you make me take my underwear off. I had already paid the large sum of money to get it done and be like, no, I'm not. No, you can't make me.
I'm not taking off my undies for you.
Not for free, at least. Don't.
Oh, God. Oh, that one got me. Yeah, no, kind of weird that they wanted to. I won't lie. Kind of suspicious.
I was just like, why do I need to take this off? Everything's going on up here. You don't need to do anything down there.
Mm-mm. Who's your doctor again? What the hell? But we digress. How was your recovery process after your top surgery? And what kind of surgery did you get? Did you get double incision?
What's double incision again? I'm a bad transverse and I don't know what that is. The only one I know is keyhole.
Yeah, that's what I got. Double incision is the 2 scars.
I definitely have those 2 scars, yeah.
I definitely have those. That was funny. So did you have drains after your surgery?
I did have drains, and I hated them. They were the worst. But the recovery, so they gave me the good drugs. They gave me like Oxy and like over the counter like Tylenol. I did not touch the Oxy once. And like it was weird because like I was watching all these TikToks about people like how they get their top surgery and all that, and I was just like, oh, it's gonna be so painful. Like I don't know if I can handle this. Literally, I was walking around like the day of my surgery. I got home, I took a good ass nap, and then I was like, I'm bored. Like, what are we doing? What's going on? And like that was pretty much it. Like,
how old were you when you got surgery again? I didn't ask. He don't know. Mans don't know.
22? 22.
Okay.
21.
Funny. So wait, that would mean it was a year ago.
It was
because you're 23.
No, it wasn't. It was fairly recent.
He's like, where am I? What year is it?
I'm looking at my calendar. Hold on. I got it done in August. Or no, April 1st. Because I was like, is this a prank? Are they pranking me? Is this an April Fool's joke?
So April of 2022?
Yeah, I was 22.
Okay, yeah. All right. That wasn't that long ago.
My God. I was about to say it hasn't been that long. Because I remember celebrating my 23rd birthday without a binder. So that was great.
Let's go. So you came out in what year? You were in high school? I
want to say it was my freshman year of high school, and I was 16.
So in 2016, and then you didn't get top surgery until 2022. Wow. Mm-hmm. That's a long time to go wearing binders and stuff.
A super long time. And I was definitely wearing that binder longer than 8 hours a day.
Oh, yeah. No, me too.
Go to school at like 6 a.m. and then come back from work at like 10 p.m. So,
dude, like I have like a wheeze that I'll probably have for the rest of my life just because of wearing that fucking binder all day long.
I definitely breathe like shallower. Like I don't take a full breath in.
It's terrible. Don't do that. It's not worth it. My ribs hurt like all the time too. I'm like, something feels off. Why is that? Oh, because I crushed my fucking ribs for 10 years straight. That's why. Idiot. Stupid. So you had drains after your top surgery. Were you like, how long did it take you to be able to do this?
Honestly, I kind of fucked up in that front. I was day after. Let me get my stretches in. No, it was. I feel like I fucked up. I fucked myself over because like I was definitely doing a lot more with my arms than I should have been at any given moment. But when I was supposed to, I think it took me about a month to be like, yeah, I can reach. I can reach a little bit.
He said no dinosaur.
I didn't do the dinosaur. I never had like, I didn't walk around like that. I almost bought one of those like the grabby things, the extendable grabby things. Didn't buy that. So I was just reaching for stuff. And I pretty much took care of myself too.
Wow.
You
didn't have a lot of help after your surgery?
I had a good bit of help, honestly. I had my roommate was here, but he was only here certain times of the day because he had to work still. So for like a good like 8 hours a day, I was just like, I'm chilling.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I guess it's different between keyhole and double incision, but I feel like, I don't know, I see kids on TikTok being like, these are the things you need after you get top surgery. And like, well, yeah, you do need a couple things. It's like, it's not like the most debilitating surgery. Like, I feel like the day of, I needed a lot of help. The day of. But after I went home and slept, I was like, okay, as long as I don't like do this, I'll be good. I can get up and shit. Now a double incision, did you need a wrapping around? Like, did they wrap your chest?
Yeah, they did wrap my chest. It was the most uncomfortable thing.
Yeah.
Between like, I remember getting the wrapping off, like the first look after surgery and everything. There were like where the drains were pushing into my side. There was a real nice indent that I had for like a week, even after the drains came out.
Damn.
So
yeah, I didn't have drains. I didn't even know what drains were until like maybe like 2 years ago. Like I didn't even know that was a thing that came with top surgery. My bad. My surgeon also didn't specialize in trans people, which might have been a red flag.
And neither did mine. Yeah.
I think, yeah, he specialized in, the word gyno. It's when cis men just have more fat in their chests. It's literally keyhole surgery. He just refused to call it that. But yeah, I was wrapped up. And the first thing that man said to me when I woke up in like the recovery room of his office was, Cody, you're flat. And I was like, bro, chill. Bro, why are you saying these things to me right now?
I know you're trying to be an ally right now, but you're not doing it the right way.
No, it's like, that's nice to hear, but it low-key made me dysphoric for some reason, so please stop.
After surgery, my surgeon was gone. He was MIA.
Couldn't find him anywhere.
Couldn't find him anywhere.
That's funny. He had other patients to see. Busy man. What are you gonna do? I'm like wheezing. God, so sorry if you can hear it. I had another question for you. Little off topic from the top surgery topic, but I was asked this the other day, so I wanted to ask you as well. Do you think that, because the whole topic of people not knowing the difference between gender and sexuality, do you think at least, not now because you pass very well, and like if I saw you on the street, I'd be like, oh, that's a white cis het male.
Another one.
Another one. But do you think that when you were freshly trans, just came out as trans, or when you tell people that you're trans now, do you think that they assume your sexuality because they don't know the difference, or no?
Honestly, I think that people assume I'm like straight, like heterosexual.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. I mean, they're not wrong in that assumption, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I have never had anyone been like to actually assume. That's a good question. Shit,
Shit,
I
you
don't know
stumped
me. You stumped me. I really.
because
I don't think I've.
when I came out as trans, I feel like people, not that they would think that I didn't like girls and that I liked men, but how could you ever? I'm just kidding.
Disgusting.
But when, it's like, okay, so you're trans, you like girls, does that mean you're gay? And it's like, whoa, hang on. If you think that means you're not seeing me as a man. You're still confused about my gender. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've gotten that from people that are very close to me, which is upsetting. But I mean, I've never what's the word? I've never missed a chance to educate somebody. So it's simple as I'm a man. I like girls. That makes me straight. Also, though, I don't label myself. I think labels are stupid. But have you ever had anybody be confused between your gender and your sexuality at all?
Well, I realized I fucked up on that first part of the question when you're like, oh, when you were like just like came out. I was like, I almost said just turned trans. Just turned trans. I think, yeah, definitely when I first came out, it was like, I don't know if it was my dad or my mom. It was just like, so you're a lesbian. I'm like, well, I did the trans thing. I came out as a lesbian first before I came out as trans. I came out as a lesbian first, and then I changed it. And then I don't know. I actually don't remember who it was. It was just like, so you're still like just gay? You're gay? I was like, no, like I like women, but I'm a man. I'm man now.
I'm man now.
I'm a man now.
That's what I'm going to change the podcast name to. I'm man now.
I'm here for it. I'd subscribe to that. I'd pay for the Patreon.
The entirety of the podcast is just us talking like that. I'm man now. Just like caveman talk. Honestly, new idea.
Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah, so I guess it's a good thing that not too many people questioned your sexuality. You know, when I came out as as trans, I never really came out to my mom as gay before coming out as a whole dude. I kind of just like, she knew, I knew, we both knew, but we didn't talk about it. Now we can talk about it, Mom. But I remember coming out to her as trans, and I was standing in her room for a long time because I couldn't get the words out. And she was like, what? What do you want? What is on your mind? What are you trying to tell me? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, I think I remember her being like, I know you're gay. Is this what this is about? I already know. We don't need to talk about it. And I'm like, well, yeah, but there's more. And she's like, more?
Extra steps.
What do you mean more? I was like, oh God. So it all just kind of came out at one time, but it worked out. We're fine. Next question for you. Does being trans affect your relationships with cis men? If they know you're trans, at least.
The cis men that I have in my life now, no, and they don't really care. They treat me like any other guy. But I guess people that I'm not friends with, like cis men like that, I guess I try to act more like a cis guy.
Yeah, like mentally, does it affect the relationship, like on your side, even if it's not affecting it on theirs?
If I consider that person like if they're going to be like a part of my life for like a good bit, then I'll like put some stuff, like some actual thought into it and like stuff like that. Oh, fuck. I don't know how to answer this question, bro. Stop. Your questions are too hard and I don't appreciate it. Okay? You're making me think way too hard. I
Bro,
don't like it.
bro, you sound like that bitch from Big Mouth.
Oh, Lola. Oh my god, Andrew.
Bro, why are you so good at that?
I wanted to be a voice actor for a little bit.
Dude, that was so good. Wow.
Thank
I'm
you.
like so impressed. Wow.
Thank you. Like, why won't you pants me?
I need you to talk like that to me all the time.
Okay.
Wow. That's good. That's good stuff.
Thank you.
Um yeah, so what I mean by that is I don't know. I feel like I have in my life right now one cis friend, and he is in this room. One cis male friend, and he is in this room. I find it very, very hard to be friends with cis men because not only just because of how typically they are terrible, but because of how I compare myself all the time. And I think that's why I can't. Not that I can't. I can. I don't know. I have cis male friends. I'm just not close with them as I am with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm just constantly comparing myself in a room full of them. And I'm like, I can't. This is bad for my mental health. Where are the girls? Where are the ladies?
Where's the women?
So that's kind of why I don't. But I don't know. I think that's something that I work through, I guess.
Honestly, now that like you explained the question to me a little bit more, because I'm stupid, but a good portion of my like male friends are cis. I think I have one that identifies as non-binary, so they don't count. But all my like cis identifying like he him pronoun using homies are actually really supportive. Like I have one friend that I've known since like kindergarten. He's been like by my side the entire time. Like it's one of those friends that you can have like where you like don't talk for like 3 years and then you talk to each other and it's like you never missed a day of talking or whatever. So
yeah.
I just know how to pick my friends, to be honest with you.
No, like that's like insanely hard to find in cis men. Like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, there are many cis men in my life that are supportive and nice and, you know, are like good people.
Right.
But I guess, I don't know. I guess I don't go the extra mile of actually trying because typically they all suck and I'm afraid of that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Anyways, enough about cis men. I mean,
yeah, this is a trans podcast. Okay, enough about that.
For a trans podcast, I sure as hell talk a lot about cis men. It's kind of stupid, actually. Next question I have for you. I think this is the last question I have, and then we'll get into some other stuff. But do you have, and if this is too personal, we can just move on. But do you have any specific things you do to cope with dysphoria? If you don't, it's fine because I don't even know if I do.
It's just like dysphoria in general. Honestly, ever since I got top surgery, I haven't really had any dysphoria.
Slay. So you think a lot of your dysphoria came from
definitely. As soon as those were gone, I was like, sicko mode. I can be myself now.
That's good. See, like that goes into the topic of do you need gender dysphoria to be trans? And I think I still don't know where I stand 100% on that because I do have some TikTok clips up on TikTok about me talking about that, and I get comments every day that give me a new outlook on it. See, in your case, you had dysphoria before getting top surgery, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So you did have dysphoria. And when you did something, that took it away. But you still had it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in that sense, it's still, you're still on the side of, yes, you need it. You know what I mean?
Well, so, all right. So I put some thought into it. Necessarily, I don't think you need dysphoria to be trans, but I think in order to get access to like the medical stuff to it, like the testosterone, to get top surgery, like all that stuff, I think you should have dysphoria, because otherwise you're fixing a problem that doesn't exist, or you're creating a new problem.
And I think that's where my head has been the whole time. I just couldn't put it into words, I guess. Like, I guess I still don't understand. And when I talk about it, I feel like I'm talking about it from a binary sense, from a person who is a trans male or a person who is a trans female. I don't think it's right of me to talk about it from somebody who is non-binary or anything between the binary. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or outside of the binary. But for a trans male, or I guess I can't really talk on trans women, but I don't know. I still don't quite understand how you can be trans without having gender dysphoria, because if you don't, because it's about gender. If you don't want to be the opposite gender, or you don't feel like the opposite gender, where is it stemming from? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where I'm confused about it. But I do kind of agree that, like, if you're unhappy with the way your anatomy is, then you change it. But if you're not unhappy with it, where's the thought even stemming from to change it? You know?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's where I'm confused about it. And I'm never, like, when I bring it up, I'm never, like, trying to come to a conclusion about if you need it or if you don't. I'm just here for the open conversation about it, because I think it's interesting. But you said that your dysphoria kind of left after you got top surgery, which is really cool. I feel like mine kind of did too. I think I still have some, like, I feel like dysphoria, people think that it always has to be this extreme shaking in front of the mirror type of thing. And I don't think that's always the case. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
I think it's also just like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. That's dysphoria. You know what I mean? Like, that's what dysphoria is.
I'm a little uncomfy right now.
That's literally it. Like, and I feel like a lot of trans people don't know they even have dysphoria because they think it's this extreme fucking thing. It's not.
Yeah.
It's quite literally just being uncomfortable. Okay, so now we're going to react to this video that I found on the interwebs of our favorite person, Buck Angel, and Blair White. Two trans people. Buck Angel, if you've watched past episodes, we talk about him a lot. He is a trans man. I think he's around 60 years old. He's a terrible person. He's transphobic. And Blair, who is a trans woman, who is also, you guessed it, transphobic. They get together and they talk about a lot about trans youth and just so many other things that we're gonna dissect it and get angry together. I have a lot of timestamps for this, so bear with me here. We're gonna start at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and let's see what they have to say.
It's sad for me because I love community, and I think community is important, but I don't know if we really even have a trans community anymore.
Yeah, I go back and forth between considering myself a part of the community, because there are times where, you know, I do have other trans friends, and, you know, when I'm hanging out with them, sometimes I'm like, oh man, this is a community, like we're having fun, we're like whatever. And then other times, you know, you go online and the discourse is so just antithetical towards real life. Like it contradicts so much of what it is to be a real trans person, exist in the world, and be trans. It's like we're supposed to be so freaked out about bathrooms, we're supposed to be so freaked out about pronouns and all this stuff that doesn't make its way into my daily life at all.
Right.
But yet it's the biggest discourse, you know?
That's right. That's right.
And one of the
Okay. So I just want to touch on what she said at the end there. The fact that she was like, the biggest discourse in the trans community is bathrooms and pronouns, meaning that that's what trans people talk about the most.
Yeah.
Is what they have a problem with. And she's like, that's not really a problem in my life, though, so I don't get why we're arguing about it.
Just because it's not a problem in your life doesn't mean it's not a problem in everyone else's life.
Yeah, like, I'm glad you passed so well, girly. I'm so happy for you, but not everybody does. Okay? Not everybody has the money that you have to be able to pass so fucking well.
Mm-hmm.
So that one pissed me off. Next.
Next.
I'm just going to rip her apart.
Can't
about
wait.
whatever. There are kids getting really messed up by the direction this ideology is going, physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Yep.
So we are both in agreement, and we can get into the specifics, but we're both in agreement that transitioning is not something for kids.
100% in agreement on that, and we can see it. You know, there's always exceptions to any rule. I believe that there are some kids that might benefit from this, but on a whole, if we look at it, what's happening today, I disagree with everything that's happening. I disagree with the fast, which we have been started calling it fast tracking, of pushing these kids, like, if you're going to die if you don't transition. That's all complete, total nonsense. And it's actually, on some level, well, it's lying, first off, number one. Number two, it's putting parents in a very, very, very vulnerable space. I'm a parent, so, you know, I don't think it's fair to parents. Not just the kids, but it's also not fair to the parents. And we're not putting the actual, real information out there.
What the fuck?
My question is, who said... I want to find one trans person that has said your kid is gonna die if they don't start hormones. What?
Doctors are so hesitant to start younger trans people on hormones in the first place. They're so hesitant. It's not something that they're handing out like fucking candy. Like, I had to go through a process to start even as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think he said, we're lying to people. You're lying to people, telling people that doctors are out here cutting away at kids and handing out pills to kids, bro. Who? Show me what doctor. Show me a doctor who does that. Nobody's out here trying to hurt your children, I promise you. And friendly reminder, these people are trans. These people have gone under surgeries, gotten hormones at a young age. They moved fast through their transitions. They did everything they're telling you not to do. Okay?
Lovely.
Just a friendly reminder.
These young girls realizing TikTok. Just look at TikTok. That's how we are actually losing ground. It's TikTok. The fact that all these kids
It sounds so petty, but it's real.
Oh, no, it's not petty. Go on there. Anyone who disbelieves or just go on there and search any of these situations. You see young kids running around. I've seen 13, 14-year-old kids with chest surgery going, woohoo, we're so like, what? Who does that? This has always been a private space. I think for yourself as well. Transitioning is a very private space. And to be jumping around about your surgeries or these things seems very indoctrinating to me. Yes. It's like, look what I got. Yay. You want to have it too. That is actually, you can just see it on TikTok. That's all I'm going to say. Just watch it.
Well, because a lot of these surgeons are branding themselves. They're becoming...
So, yes, is transitioning a private thing? Sure, but why can't somebody go online and seek help, seek validation, seek whatever they're looking for them to get them through their transition? That's what I don't understand.
Even if they're not searching for validation, like, it's fun. It's like getting top surgery is a big deal to a lot of trans people. Like, fucking like you want to share that. If you want to share that and be open about it, that's your life.
Exactly.
And also, what 13-year-old did he see with top surgery scars?
Yeah, what kind of For You page you got, bro? Like,
Look, that's tailored to you, right, dog? What are you looking up?
Your own For You page, brother. Like, what the fuck?
Somebody call the cops. This guy's looking at kids.
For him to be mad that, I think what it is that he is mad that he didn't have an outlet like TikTok or the internet when he was younger and transitioning. And I think that's what he's fucking mad about, that he didn't have a community that could support him.
Right.
That's why he's fucking mad. Because he had to do it alone, so everybody else has to do it alone, right? You fucking weird.
Like if I have to walk uphill both ways to school, you have to do it too. Dead
ass. Like you sound like your typical fucking like in my day and age. Like what the fuck, bro? Like anyways. Next one we got.
There's a middle ground to a lot of this. There are kids who have dysphoria. I don't like to call them trans kids. I call them kids with dysphoria.
Because there are people with dysphoria that are not trans.
There you go. And so once you start labeling something, you now immediately pushed it into a space, and then why do we have a huge amount of detransitioned children? 20.
Okay. So he said in the beginning, that he doesn't like to call trans kids trans because he thinks they're too young to know that they're trans. And that is hella disrespectful because I feel like even at a young age, you know your gender, you know who you are, you can know who you are at a young age. I'm not saying you have your whole fucking life figured out, but like, if a kid is saying I'm not a girl,
okay,
as a trans person, you're gonna look at that kid and be like, you're just confused. Like that was you, homie. That was you. Like, fuck. It hurts my head, bro. Jesus Christ.
No, I mean like, I don't even know what to say. Like this, you just sound dumb. It just sounds dumb. And like this is a face of our community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what she said at the end there. She said, I don't even know if I understand it, to be honest. She goes, people have dysphoria and they're not trans. I don't get that.
Well, I've seen a couple of the gym bros that are like, oh, my dysphoria because I'm fat. And meanwhile, they're fucking shredded. But I mean, it's
body dysmorphia, though. That's not dysphoria, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the hell she's saying then, because if somebody has dysphoria and they're not trans, I feel like maybe they should be trans. Yeah. I think she's confused between dysmorphia and dysphoria, which a lot of people are, because it's gender dysphoria. It's not just dysphoria, it's gender dysphoria. I don't think you can have dysphoria without the gender part. I don't know. I could be talking out of my ass, so I have no idea about that one. Okay, next.
Voice can be powerful in a more political space, and this is I consider this a political space.
Yes,
and I really feel like I wouldn't be doing a disservice not only to myself and my own transition of 30 years. I've transitioned 30 years ago, and I would be doing a disservice to the young kids today who need to see this is what it's all about. Like, look at me, I have an amazing life because I transitioned, but I didn't do it in a rush.
It's so scary to see what I perceive to be a lot of youth that are not trans.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So he said he would be doing the community a disservice if he didn't talk about how he transitioned, but he transitioned slowly and he took his time, meaning that people who move too fast in their transition are wrong for that. And look, I came out as trans in 2016. I changed my name by 2017. I then got top surgery in 2018, and I was done in 3 years. I move fast, and I have no fucking regrets. So where the fuck is your logic?
Even still, like 3 years is a good amount of time. Still, because like I think I even took a little bit longer. Yeah, I can't do math, so I think it was just. I think I did take it a little slower, but it was only just like I was just doing it.
Yeah, but like no matter how long you took, do you think you would have regretted anything if you got your medical side of your transition done faster? You know what I mean?
Happier faster, I'll tell you that.
Exactly. Like this man is sitting here saying, slow down. Like, yes, sure. Nobody should make these decisions unless they're 100% positive about it. But who are you to say how long it takes somebody to realize who they are? You know what I mean? Like everybody's different. Everybody moves at different paces. There's no one way to transition. Your way of transitioning is not the only way, dude. Not the only way.
Exactly. Preach. Speak to him. Retweet.
To create that vagina because they never actually developed their starting points.
Whoa.
Because they've been on puberty blockers since 12. So even their own arguments don't even work. If the argument is these kids need to be on puberty blockers because it saves them problems later, it seems to me you're trading off problems.
But what are the problems? So the problems are what they're trying to save these kids from is looking masculine or looking feminine.
Why are looks being prioritized?
First off, look at us. Look at us. We didn't have puberty blockers.
No.
And I think you look pretty feminine.
Likewise,
and I think I look pretty masculine. Yeah. So we're proof of the fact that we didn't take puberty blockers. We might have struggled a little bit. I struggled. No, but I don't. Here's what I don't understand. Struggle is not a bad thing. Now, I don't want some kid feeling suicidal.
This one makes me mad.
Yeah, this one really grinded my gears too. Because like, just because you had to go through struggle doesn't mean that everyone else does. Like, like probably like if Brooke had been on puberty blockers or hormone blockers or whatever, probably. Sorry, my tummy just grumbled really loud and it just completely derailed my whole thing.
No, you're fine. I agree with you.
I wish I had been on hormone blockers. You know how much mental anguish that would have saved me in the long run, bro?
Dude, yeah, and this bitch goes, and why do we care about looks? Because puberty blockers, if you go on them from a young age, they will help, especially for trans women, they'll help you pass 10 times more because they're stopping your puberty from a young age and they're stopping whatever. So it does help you pass in the long run. And to that, she says, why do we care about looks so much? Okay, I bet you 95% of trans people, their dysphoria comes from not being able to pass, right? Because that's kind of what dysphoria is typically. And so I'm not saying that looks matter, but being able to pass, or what you think being able to pass looks like, matters because it helps with the dysphoria. And it helps just being able to flow through the world normally as cis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying looks matter, but looks matter when you're trans in that sense. Yeah. And like, lucky you didn't need puberty blockers. Like, look at her. Like, you think that, like, you know what I mean? Like, privilege is what I'm trying to say. Like, not everybody has what you have, girl. Sit down.
Well, then I start to get all weird conspiracy, dude, right? And I'm like, is there like a bigger thing going on here? There has to be. There's a lot of money behind this because there's no way our tiny little teeny community can have as much power that it has to change laws to literally get our flag flown at the White House.
Yeah, they wouldn't give us this power unless they were using it for something else. And
That's right.
So I agree with what she says at the end there, that like, because they're talking about pride, if that wasn't clear. I agree that she's kind of like, there's something else going on behind the scenes. Like, everything is about money at the end of the day. But he is more like, I guess, being like, our flag being shown at the White House, like, we don't deserve that. Like, that's the vibe that he's given off there, and it bothers me because these two hate to see our community doing well. They hate it.
But like why don't we deserve that?
Exactly. That's what they think, that we don't, and it's disgusting. They very much want to like flow through the world as if they weren't trans, and I think that's the problem. Like, because you hate yourself. Like, it's all comes from self-hate at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so sad. It's kind of sad, to be honest with you. It's just like these two trans people talking shit about their community that they think is so small, but I'm pretty sure we're millions or billions of people that like, well, this is not some small like niche group. It's literally a part of the acronym. It's LGBT plus. I'm sorry, I'm a bad ally. It's like it's not small is what I'm trying to get at here.
It's not. And even like taking out LGB, like, it's still, the trans community is still so much bigger than I think these two can comprehend. I think they both grew up in a place where it wasn't accepted, and they were made to feel like they were
lesser.
Yes, so outcasted that they still have that type of mindset. And while yes, we are still not anywhere where we need to be, like, they treated as like, I think they just have so much self-hate that they don't even want to acknowledge that they are trans, which is fine. Like, I'm not saying that everybody has to say that they're trans. You should, because the whole point typically of being trans is to be able to flow through the world as if you weren't. You know what I mean? Like, but to be not famous, I wouldn't call them famous, but like to have a platform where you have attention because of the fact that you're trans, and you use that platform to tear down that community is ballsy, in my fucking opinion. Like,
infiltrate and tear them down from the inside.
Probably swear. Like, sometimes I listen to them talk, and I'm like, they can't actually feel this way. Like, this has to be for clicks, like for a paycheck, because like, like what? I don't know. I'll just go to the next one there.
No problem with that. That's their situation. They're going to have to figure it out. I will not let kids be put into our space and being told that if we don't do this, people are being lied to. Parents are being lied to. And I'll say it again. I'm a parent. If somebody said that to me, I would be like, if I wasn't trans, I would be like, what? Oh my God, I would freak out. What do you mean? What do I do? Well, here, give your kid these medicine and your kid's going to be all fine. Of course, a parent is going to do that. They feel very vulnerable at that point, and they want to save their child. So everyone out there needs to understand what Blair and I are saying is this. We care about these kids. We don't want the kids to be shoved in a space that they're not supposed to be in. That's why there's a group of 28,000 detransition. These are all young kids.
Yeah. I did
So
have you seen that video on TikTok? It's a young trans girl. And then the interviewer was talking to her mom, and she goes, I'd rather have my kid change their pronouns 1,000 times than write their obituary.
Period. I've never seen that, but like, good point.
Yeah. So
no, like, because also he brings up detransitioners at the end. Like, that's the only thing that you have to go off of, bro. The only thing that you have.
Yeah.
And he says any parent would just hand their children medication without knowing anything about it. That's what he's saying. That any parent would just be like, okay, let me hand my kid some hormones without looking into it. No, you're an awful parent then if that's what you're doing. Like,
yeah.
like, no, the right parent would listen to their child, say, okay, let's think about the best course of action. And if the final result was starting hormones, it's okay, let me do my research. Let me make sure that my kid is going to be healthy and safe from these hormones. And then you do your research and realize they'd be fucking fine. And if they change their mind later down the road, it's okay. It's fine. It happens. But like, I bet you that would only be like what, a 10% chance of that fucking happening, because I don't know the actual number of detransitioners, but it's only like they only make up like 1% in comparison to all trans people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like not many of them, and they're acting like there's so many. I think they say like 20.
It's like 28,000 they said or something. I was like, that compared to like the rest of how many trans people there are in the world, it doesn't seem like a lot.
No, like that's such a small amount compared to trans people. Hey,
gets surgery and does all that, how are they going to come out of that? You don't think they're going to be depressed for the rest of their life? I deal with these kids. They cry to me all the time. I spend hours, on the phone with these kids because I feel on some level that it's my service to do that with these kids, and they don't have anybody else to talk to. And I leave crying and like, how is this? It will actually make me cry right now because I just cannot believe that the world is letting this happen to young people who have everything in front of them right now, and they won't have it because now they're going to be turned onto, oh my God, now I'm carved up. I can't have babies. I can't have sex. And I'm just like, oh my God, please wake up out there. Please, you have to hear what we're saying. We will be so screwed up. Our whole space, the trans world will be screwed up from this.
It's going to be a wrap on the trans.
It is. It's
about
going
to be
to.
a wrap.
That's right.
it's about to be a wrap on the trans community. Did you know that?
All these kids are carved up.
I was like, what?
They're carving kids out here like pumpkins on Halloween.
Like, what, dude? What are you saying, bro? Like, the way he's making it seem like medically transitioning for any trans person is this gruesome, like, we're not going to be able to have sex. Like, we're not going to be able to fuck. Like, what, bro?
That's my biggest thing, bro. I cannot fuck anymore.
Like, you're trying to make it seem like we're like tearing ourselves apart and like no longer have sex lives and like we're living as like not human. Like, and this is you, like you're trans.
Also, I think he said like you can't have kids anymore. Like, I'm pretty sure trans guys or anyone can still have kids. Like,
yeah, like I think he's saying that kids that transition from a young age and then grow up and realize that it was a mistake, now they're like, fuck, I can't have sex, I carved up my body, I can't have kids. But that still holds to be untrue. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's not true. If you transition, yes, I'm sure there are a lot of detransitioners who can no longer have kids, who have gone to the extremes with their surgeries and stuff, but like, that is also nobody else's fault but their own. It is not the trans community's fault that somebody maybe moved a little too fast, maybe didn't think all the way through with their transition. That's not our fault. That is, no trans person is out here being like, you have to transition or you'll die. Like, no. Take the time to learn things about yourself. Take time with yourself. That is what every trans person will tell you to do. Like,
because even some trans guys don't get top surgery, and that's completely okay.
Exactly. I don't know. And I think that also, as much as he hates people on the internet or on social media pushing, quote unquote, pushing kids to transition, he is pushing just as hard to not transition. So picture me or you at 12 years old watching this video, questioning your gender. I'd sit there and be like, well, fuck. Like,
what am I supposed to do?
I'd be even more confused. Like, this wouldn't help me. Like, I don't know if like I would hate him like I do right now because I would be young and uneducated on everything. Like, I would be so like, well, fuck, like, am I a boy? Am I confused? And then I would probably spend the next few years living in the wrong body, upset and miserable because of his fucking words. I bet you $1 million fucking dollars. So, like,
yeah, I'd also, yeah.
just as much as you hate everybody else on the internet pushing kids to transition, you're pushing them to stay in the wrong body and to stay miserable, which nobody should fucking commend you for.
No.
Period. And that's on God, okay?
On God for real.
Crazy people who want to. Here's the deal. I want to coexist in the world. I want to be part of the world.
Yeah.
I transition to be a man and live in the world. These people want to dominate space. They want to take over women's space. They want to come in and say people with uteruses, people with whatever. That's not fair and that's not okay because people don't have uteruses. Women have uteruses. Trans men can have a uterus. But when we start wiping out language in order for trans people to feel comfortable in the world, that is insane. And I will not be part of that.
It used to be, it would kind of be like me, like moving to China and then being like, actually, y'all have to do things like America. It's like, no, trans people and
Ha 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 ha.
Why? What's the problem with using inclusive language? Please tell me.
Thank you. Thank you. It's like you hate your own community so much that you're not willing to change one word in your language. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm not sure if he's gotten a hysterectomy or not, but imagine if he didn't and he refuses to say people with uteruses rather than women who have uteruses.
Bro, it's literally you. You're people with uteruses.
You're the people with uteruses, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
And I think somewhere in there, I don't know if he said it in there or if he's about to say it, but he goes to say that he thinks that the word cis is a slur, but he has no problem saying trans. He has no problem saying trans people, trans kids, trans community, but he refuses to refer to people who aren't trans as cis. Bro, don't even get me started on people who think cis is a slur. Don't even get me started.
The worst, bro.
The worst kind of fucking people.
It's literally just like another label. Like, you want to put trans on us, we're gonna put cis on you.
Mm-hmm. And it's also how do you? And we're the snowflakes. I get called a snowflake because I would prefer if somebody said people with uteruses rather than women, but I can't call you cis. Are you kidding? You fucking snowflake.
Yeah.
All right, we got the last clip here. One more hoorah to get fucking angry.
I'm best.
Love me because I'm honest. Most of the people that come to me, watch me, are all cisgender, which I actually even hate that word and I don't use it. But that being said, the people who come to me are not trans and not LGBT. They're like, oh, Buck, you're just a normal dude. That's all I want the world to see, that people like us just want to get back into the world, deal with our stuff, and move forward and become doctors, lawyers, YouTubers, whatever the heck we want to be.
don't become a YouTuber.
Podcasters, whatever you want to be.
So he says it right there that he's just he wants. First of all, he says that the only people that come to him are cis. Duh, because no trans person is coming to you. Why? You're like scary. Like
You're hateful towards the community, and you wonder why. Like, oh, no trans people come to me. It's only cis people. Like, no, you know why, right? Do you realize?
And he loves it. He loves that cis people come to him because he craves their validation. And he absolutely loves that those are the only people that come to him because he can't give advice to trans people. He doesn't know how. He doesn't know how because he is not happy with the way he transitioned and his outcome. Because he fucking hates himself, so he looks for validation in people who think he deserves death. Like, tell me I'm wrong, though. Like, you're looking for validation from people who hate you. And it shows, buddy. Like, honestly, you have deep-rooted issues, and I think you need to get that checked out.
Honestly.
That's all I have to say about you, Mr. Buck and Mrs. Blaire White.
I knew it's kind of a shame because when I first discovered what trans was, he was pretty big back in the day for his acting career.
Dude, yeah. Thank you for fucking reminding me. Dude, okay, yeah. So talked about Buck on this podcast a couple times now, and each time I forget to say that Buck was a porn star, and I think you could never catch me watching that because I wouldn't touch him with a 5-foot fucking pole, but I did look up his like bio thing for Pornhub, which I shouldn't have done. I immediately regretted it. Even that, like, you know how Buck said that he wears a costume and that he's not actually trans?
Yeah.
Twitter bio reads female who lives as male or some shit like that. He calls himself a female in his Twitter bio. He says that him being a trans male is like him wearing a costume. And then even his fucking description on fucking Pornhub, I don't even want to say it because it's disturbing to anybody who's trans, but I invite you to go read that because it says the most out-of-pocket thing that no trans man would ever say about himself. Like, fuck you. Like, that's how you know your shit is for clicks, bro. And, like, you're giving such a bad representation of how a trans guy thinks, how he acts, how he feels. Like, it's disgusting. You're
Honestly,
making a joke out of trans guys is what you're doing.
It's just such a shame. Because I looked up to him when I was younger. I looked up to him. I was like, "Duh, this guy's doing it. Like, he's got a career. He's doing stuff." I honestly didn't want to be a porn star. Like, that's not where I was going with it. But it was just like someone who transitioned and was happy, and for him to come out later and be like, basically fuck trans people. It's just like it feels like such a stab in the back. That's like when Caitlyn Jenner came out and she was like, she's doing all this stuff and now she's also saying hateful shit. It's just like, okay, but why? Who's paying you to say these things about your community?
Mm-hmm. Don't dead ass, like, who is paying you? Because I can't wrap my head around how a trans person could be so transphobic. Like, damn. I don't know. I thought that there was nobody worse than Caitlyn Jenner, and since this podcast has, like, gone through the motions, I can name at least, like, 4 people who are worse than Caitlyn, and that's terrible. That is god awful. But I guess that's a good place to stop. Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Tyler, thank you so much for joining me today. Tyler will be back. I will have Tyler on this podcast again because this was fun.
No, thank you so much for having me. Honestly, this is great.
Yeah, of course, dude. Anytime. This was a lot of fun. Can they follow your Instagram? Do you have any other platforms you want to be followed on, or just Instagram?
You follow me on all platforms. Honestly, they're all the same. It's Tyler Money Sign, but it's the word money sign spelled out. So it's TikTok, Instagram, Twitch if I ever start streaming again.
Hell yeah, plug that Twitch, brother. Plug it.
But no, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Word. Okay. So yeah, follow Tyler on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, wherever you can find him. His handle will be probably in the left-hand corner. You can give him a follow. And you can follow me at HRTea Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I drop videos every Tuesday. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this week. I will see you next week, and we will... I don't know what's planned for next week. I guess you'll have to find out.
Next week.
Next week. But thank you so much. Thank you, Tyler. We'll be back soon. Bye.
Bye.